Hey guys, how you all doing? So today I'm going to be reviewing for you Nishane's Fan Your Flames. And in my opinion, this is a bit of an overhyped fragrance. If you found this video, then you've probably already seen other reviews about this or heard of this fragrance. And it gets a lot of love. And, you know, my saying that it's overhyped is not because it's a bad scent, but I think that it's not the most wearable scent and it's not going to suit everybody's taste. It's one of those fragrances that is going to have a cult following because it's very strong and it is really kind of has a very strong character. And so you have to like a certain genre of fragrances, which we'll talk about. And also, you know, if you look at the note breakdown, it's a little bit misleading in my opinion, not indicative of the main smell of this fragrance, because you see the top notes as coconut and rum, and immediately that's probably what's going to feel attractive to a lot of people. And there is coconut in here, but overall, I would say the heart of this fragrance is so powerful, focused on tobacco accord. And the tonka bean also adds to this tobacco accord. It's a very smoky, dry, kind of ashy tobacco fragrance. And the other notes are really just kind of supporting that smell overall. And there might also be a little less sweetness than you expect in this scent. For me, that was a surprise. The juice color is beautiful, the name's beautiful, and I thought that this would be a very smooth and creamy amber scent, and creamy sweet kind of amber scent. It's deep and rich, but it's actually totally different type of scent. Again, primarily a tobacco scent. So I wouldn't say that there's much development here. Let me give it a fresh spray. So when you first spray it, you do get the little bit of sweetness, but the sweetness here, I get almost, there are certain fragrances that give off this cherry-like sweetness, and it's almost an artificial feeling cherry sweetness. Of course, there's no cherry note in here, but yeah, sometimes, certain woods and certain chemicals mixed together give off a cherry-like sweetness that to some people smells kind of like cough syrup or is a bit nauseating. It's not the most pleasant or elegant kind of sweetness in my opinion. And then there's a strong overall medicinal quality about this scent. It smells nutty, it smells bitter, and I think that type of scent profile is pretty common to fragrances that smell medicinal. So a nutty, bitter kind of smell. And of course, the tonka bean actually is contributing to this a lot. And the tonka bean here is not gonna be like the tonka bean that you find in a lot of easy to like designer fragrances, that sort of where the tonka bean adds this creamy sweetness. Here, it's a much spicier version of tonka bean. So at times, you might even get a Middle Eastern spice market type of vibe from this scent because of the spicy character of the tonka bean here. And of course, there's oak moss here, also kind of adding this mossy, dry, woody character. So the notes kind of surprise me because it almost feels like one of those vetiver-centric fragrances that's grassy, that's not very sweet. And the mix of tobacco, tonka bean, and then cedar create this vetiver-like accord and a really strong, grassy type of scent. And so this reminds me of fragrances actually like Serge Lutens Chergui, which also has a hay tobacco accord. And so this fragrance, I think, is a very grassy fragrance. The spicy character of this scent almost reminds me of also fragrances that play on cardamom. So it's almost because of the slight sweetness, the nuttiness, the spiciness. It feels like a lot of your cardamom based scents. with a lot less sweetness and a lot more, niche in that it's not the most kind of mass appealing type of smell in my opinion. And the other part about this fragrance is that I get a really, really strong smoky accord. Smoky, almost like incense. And again, you don't get this from the note breakdown. So this is actually, to me, what it smells like. It smells a lot like incense based fragrances. So it's a kind of incense that, is very smoky and a bit churchy. And again, a fragrance that perhaps some, brand like Amouage might put out. So if you like those kind of scents, I think you will like this. But this is not sort of your playful, sweet, creamy, ambery type of fragrance. This is a very dry, heavy tobacco scent. And because it's so strong, if you don't like that scent profile, then I don't think this is going to work for you. Also, I don't think that this is primarily a boozy kind of fragrance because the tobacco note overpowers that rum note that is there, and you do get a hint of it. But again, you might expect, looking at the notes, a bit more of a kind of cognac-like boozy scent, but this is sort of more focused on the tobacco. And the coconut kind of comes up a little bit more in the dry down. And that is the sort of the one thing that's rounding this fragrance out. Giving it a little bit of a roundness and a milkiness that kind of balances all this dryness and grassiness and smokiness. I just wish this had a little bit more of a kind of smooth flowing quality about it rather than being so pungent. It's really like a sharp, pungent kind of scent. Again, look at the notes like oak moss, tobacco, and tonka bean, and again the spicy kind of tonka bean. So this is really going to appeal to a more mature audience, and also people who like really strong scents that and don't necessarily need a lot of sweetness, and people who like tobacco scents, and especially people who like dry fragrances and grassy fragrances, masculine fragrances, heavy on notes like vetiver. That's what this fragrance really smells like. So so that's my quick take on Fan Your Flames. I do think it's overhyped because, again, it's not easy to like for a lot of people, in my opinion. But of course, the reviewers like it because they have such a big collection. This is something a little bit different. But again, I would think of this as an incensey, tobacco-based scent. All right. So that's my review. Let me know what you think. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.